What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Very Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Freno, and tonight we got some special guests. We got our boy Rich from Keltz Chronicles.
Yes,
How's it
sir.
going,
What's up,
Rich?
Brandon? What's up, my
How's it
man?
going? And we got Aaron from 49ers First Takes. How we doing, fellas?
Going on? Sweet intro.
Thank you. I
Yeah, what's
appreciate it,
dope?
man. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, tomorrow night's the night. We are playing the Cardinals in Mexico City. Let's get your thoughts, Rich. What do you expect from tomorrow night's game?
Well, first off, I just want to let the viewers know, hey, we are multi-streaming on my
Mm-hmm.
channel as well as Brandon. So it's a little bit interesting. It's a little bit different for me. I appreciate it at the same time. So I do want to acknowledge some of the people in the chat real quick, if that's all good.
Yes,
We got
sir.
Sacktown Izzy in the house with the fire emojis and the football. What's up, my man, Sacktown? Yee! Good stuff for coming through. And if you guys have not, I need you guys to hop over at some point in time and subscribe to my man, Brandon from Forever Faithful. And down below us, we got Aaron from 49er First Take. So go, I'm pretty sure if you guys know us, you probably know Aaron because he's a baller in the game. But
Yes,
we
sir.
got who else we got? We got Kimberly in the house. Good stuff for coming through. She says, "Let's go 49er fans for life. Let's go." 49er media. What's up, everybody? What's up, my man? Good stuff for coming through. We got Damian Lee says, "What's up, Niner family? Yee, let's go, my man." We got Raphael 562 Niner says, "What's up, Keltz Chronicle, Aaron, and everybody."
What's
Yeah,
up,
like
man?
I said, like I said, go hit up Brandon from Forever Faithful as well. We got Niners sickness. Hey,
Mr.
what's up?
Beto.
Beto.
What's up, brother? What's up, Senor Beto? We got David in the house. We got Debbie Ryan in the
Miss
house.
Debbie.
Blessings, Miss Debbie. Blessings to the Niner brothers. And I don't know if I've ever seen this person. Maybe it's one of your
Great
guys'
one.
men right here. We got J Mart 949. Sup, gentlemen? What's up, my man? Good stuff for coming through. Yeah, man, we're about to get into it. So that's and we'll be reading the comments throughout. So
Yes, sir.
you could take it off if you want to, Aaron. So
Go ahead. You're
what's your main thoughts,
This
man,
is a
about this
game.
game?
To me, this is a game where every time the news, if you watch the news cycle on Twitter, this game becomes more and more of a game that we should win, right? Just
mm-hmm.
based on who's not playing for the Cardinals. Looks like Hollywood Brown's probably not playing. Looks like Colt McCoy's a quarterback, which some of us, including myself, are having a little PTSD from because of what he did to us last year. And no disrespect to people that have PTSD. I'm just saying in a football sense, okay? In football sense. And just because I think we're a better team, roster-wise, coaching, yeah, everything. With that being said, that gives me more worry because the Niners haven't proven, at least to me, and I know you guys feel the same way, that you can just say without a shadow of a doubt, yeah, they got this game. Like they've been so bipolar in games themselves, not just through the season, like within games, like the Rams game. Started out really slow, like they were to get boat raced. Started out really slow against the Chargers, looked like they were going to get boat raced with the way the Chargers moving up down the field. Then both games, they figured out a way. So to me, tomorrow's game is all about if the 49ers can get up a couple scores early, I think they could put this game away relatively early. Just because Cardinals are kind of a dumpster fire right now. I mean, if you're watching them on HBO or wherever they're doing that in season
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks, they're a dumpster fire. So I'm super excited because I think the Niners have a chance to do really well, at least the next 2 weeks with the Cardinals and then with the Saints. But like I said, the way this team's been playing this year, I'm not super confident. And that's just me being honest. I know people say I'm negative and whatever, but that's all right. That's just me being perfectly honest with you guys. But that's kind of where my head is at right now.
I appreciate it when you spit it real. Hey, man, just because we're fans doesn't mean we're not going to have concerns or worries. Or hey, man, the 49ers have given us every single reason to have doubt. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I mean, we've been wishy-washy. That's our record reflects that. At 5-4. I'm sure all of us expect us to go on a run. But when you lose to teams like the Bears and you lose to the Falcons and the Broncos and stuff, it makes it a little uneasy. But I did mention, what's up, Jay? Yee, what's
Jay,
good?
what's good?
Hey, you gave it
Jay's
a
like,
shot.
Yeah, I
like,
did.
that's copyright infringement.
Right? Dude, Jay does it the best, though, I have to say.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's his thing right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's hard to pull that one off. And then, yeah, where was I at? The trust issues with Kyle, play calling when it comes to having a killer mentality. Real talk, that Mamba
Mhm.
mentality. And I know it's easier said than done. There's so many decisions in every single play. Football is just one of those sports, man, where it's like no other sport when it comes to just playing chess. Sometimes, maybe he,
That's church.
it feels like sometimes he's
Preach.
yeah, man, it feels like sometimes he's really just experimenting still, trying to see what works, trying to always stay ahead of the game. And I feel like sometimes trying to stay ahead of the game, sometimes he gets inconsistent, you know what I'm saying? But I was talking on another show about Colt McCoy, and we all seen it last year. It's like, man, they put a beat down on us on our home field. Colt McCoy was making throws that we haven't seen Jimmy make. And so on another show, I was like, man, I'm happy to face Colt McCoy. To be honest, people might call me crazy. I don't know who's better from Colt McCoy or Kyler Murray. On the surface, it's easy to say, oh, Kyler Murray, without a doubt. But I've seen him play well. I've seen him make all the throws, Colt McCoy. And I'm appreciative to face him, and hopefully we get redemption. I'm pretty sure we will. I wouldn't be surprised to see another game like versus the Chargers. But then at the same time, I think a lot of us expected us to beat down the Chargers. I wouldn't be surprised to see that beat down come versus the Cardinals. So it's like either way, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised to see us win a close one because it's a division rival. But then I wouldn't be surprised to see us, put a really, really good, solid game together and put a beat down on them. So that's my initial takeaway and feeling of it so far.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I know a lot of people are still worried about Colt McCoy taking advantage of us again this year, but I have a different feeling like you, Rich. I don't think you'll see that happen this year. Um, I think Arizona's just so bad that um, I don't think they have even a chance to freaking take advantage of our defense and outscore us and outplay us. Um, I don't think we'll see the Niners offense struggle in the first half like we did last week, coming off that bye as well. I think they'll start off hot. And we talked about this last week too, Rich, where I said that the Niners need to start off hot to be able to compete in the game and pull out a dub. And I mean, we didn't see that in the first half, but second half, the energy was totally different. So I mean, as long as our defense keeps like playing really well, like they did in that second half last week, I think we should be okay against Colt McCoy for sure. Um, my next question is, what do you expect from Jimmy Garoppolo now that we're in the groove again? We won last week's game against the Chargers. What do you expect from Jimmy Garoppolo? Last week he didn't have any touchdown passes. Do we see more running from the Niners, or do you think we'll see like more passes than we did last week? Aaron, go ahead first.
I think the Niners are going to be what they always are. You know what I mean? I think they're run first. I think that's the identity that they've established. I think they would be run first even with Trey at quarterback. That's just the identity of Kyle Shanahan. So I expect the Niners come out with a heavy dose of Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey was asked about what he thinks about the split. He freaking welcomes it, which for two guys that can't have issues staying on the field, I think it works out perfectly for both of them. And to me, it makes the Niners especially against bad teams, super dangerous because the Niners have, they can bludgeon you so many different ways.
Mhm.
And I think Jimmy's at his best when he has a really strong run game behind him. The 49ers are not a come from behind team. The 49ers are and I mean this respectfully, they're a front runner. The Niners are good when they have the lead and they can bust you up and run down your throat. They're not a team that's going to come back throwing 50, 60 passes. It's just not Jimmy's strength. And I don't know if it would have been Trey's strength, at least this year.
Yeah.
So, like, you would have wanted to have that running game kind of support the kid if he was playing too. So, I would like to see Kyle get in his bag a little bit with some play action if the run game really is effective this coming game. But like games in the division always are just weird. They're all weird stuff always happens. Like, for instance, we lost to them last year with Colt McCoy and I think it was James Conner. They just bludgeoned us to death. Nobody saw that coming, right? So this game, I think the Niners it's going to be close again. I don't see the Niners blowing anybody out, at least not yet. I might have a different opinion after this game if I see if the Niners offense is kind of starting to give you different looks now that they have this like 1-2 combination. But I'm still thinking this is a close game. I think it's like a 24-16 type victory. I think Niners are pretty much in control the whole game. It's going to resemble, I think, the last couple games we played where I want to say the Niners come out and score a bunch of touchdowns, but they haven't proven that yet. So I think because of that, I'm going to say we win, but it'll be close. 2, it's a division game too, and weird stuff always happens.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Rich.
Jimmy. I think one of the biggest things that I was kind of impressed with, maybe a little underrated type of a thing I seen last week was he threw the ball away in the red zone. He threw a ball away, and every time I see certain things, what up, Bay Area baller? Every time I see certain things from Jimmy Garoppolo, like something as simple as throwing the ball away in the red zone. I know we were frustrated about the red zone efficiency. We were 2 of 5. We would like to see more touchdowns, but to get those 3 points and then to take the momentum, like let's say he doesn't throw that ball away, we throw a pick, that could potentially be a 10-point swing. They could get momentum from that. That could take away the 3 that we were going to get. They could go down, score a touchdown. It could have been a whole different ball game. So I was like, let's go. Hey, live to fight another down. Throw the ball away sometimes. Just like I think it was, 2 weeks before that game, I think it was, versus Kansas City. Kyle Shanahan was upset, about the pick he threw in the end zone. Hey, you got to take a sack. You got to throw the ball away. So that was encouraging to see that from Jimmy Garoppolo. The other thing, I'm sure we all seen it, where he was making some passes outside the numbers. He hit Ray McCloud on the run, potentially maybe one of his best throws of his career, which is really dope. But then at the same time, it's kind of
really sad.
it's kind of deflating. It's kind of deflating that it's like, man, you would think he would have a lot of highlights. I was talking to I had my son on one time on the show, and he doesn't know a ton about football. But I was like, why do you think? And ironically enough, my son used the word bozo right before Trey went on and did the bozo thing. It was like 2 days before, and I never heard my son say bozo in his life, but he called Garoppolo a bozo. I'm like, why do you feel that way? He's 16. You know what I'm saying? And because he has highlights of bad plays. I was like, wow, that's kind of a good point. Not too many people have highlights of bad plays. So I get what you're saying. But he has been playing within himself. He's never going to light it on fire. I feel like the main key for Jimmy Garoppolo is to minimize mistakes. Some of the Super Bowl quarterbacks that were kind of average that have won Super Bowls, one of the biggest things they did was just minimize mistakes, throw the ball away, just play smart. So I'm hoping, I'm rooting for Jimmy Garoppolo. I give a ton of criticism toward him because, being spoiled as a 49er fan, we grew up watching Steve Young, most of us, or Joe Montana. And I feel like that's the true legacy of the 49ers, great quarterback play. So when we're not seeing those standards and those expectations, it's kind of like, get it together, bro. But for what Jimmy is, just continue to, he's going on 3 games where he might not have a pick. And it's like, I'm just hoping he doesn't turn the ball over, throws the ball away if he needs to, and just play smart. Just play smart. Keep building on the pass like to Ray, the pass that he threw to Jawan Jennings. Just keep building. Just hey, if we need to throw 5 screens to Debo, a screen to CMC, just do the simple things and don't turn it over, man, and we're gonna be all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree totally. Every time Jimmy Garoppolo goes on the run, like a play action pass, and he throws that ball, you always cringe because you think he's gonna throw that interception, right? So that always scares the crap out of me every single time. Even that one when he threw it to Ray, even though it was a beautiful pass, I still thought, like, oh shit, it might happen. But like Aaron said, they'll run with the ball a lot, hopefully. And hopefully Kyle, the main thing is hopefully Kyle, if we get like a big league, like 10-point lead or whatever, I just hope to God Kyle doesn't go to his conservative self and be fine with the 10-point lead. Because every time we do that, we lose the game, right? So
yeah, we need all gas. Like like Miss Debbie was saying, real talk.
Miss Debbie was saying, praying that Kyle keeps his foot on the gas the whole damn game. Stop being conservative, run the score up, and out of reach.
Let's go.
That's how you win games.
Bang, bang, right there.
Exactly.
I think sometimes Kyle's too comfortable being safe. You know what I mean? Like there's almost a like even after the game, like the players are like they're always talking about a win's a win, but I feel like when you're facing teams that you should be putting a whooping on, man, like it doesn't sit well with me because if you're barely sneaking by these teams, what happens when you play a team that who actually has some firepower? Like
Make the
I
Chiefs.
am not a fan. Yeah, like the Chiefs. Like we try to do our normal way of doing things against the Chiefs, and look how that turned out. I mean, that's why, as a 49er fan who's very, very can be very, very negative, is that I think sometimes we get caught up in the journey of the season, and then we forget how it all kind of ends sometimes, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo when we face against like elite quarterbacks. And then we see what we really need in order to get over the top. So, like, to me, you're right. Jimmy needs to be the guy that just stays out of the way. Be a point guard. Be a facilitator. Don't try to be a run and gun, freaking Patrick Mahomes, whatever good quarterback you can think of that can move around and throw the ball. You're not that. So, yeah, to me, tomorrow, if they could put a beat down on the Cardinals by like at least 2 touchdowns, I would be very happy because that's what you should do, right? You should take care of teams like that. But part of me also says, hey, it's a win. They, every win closer to getting into the playoffs. So it's not really style points. We don't want to go out there and just blow teams out for the sake of blowing them out. You want to blow them out because you want to know that you're that much better than the team you're facing. So, but we'll see. I'm just excited. We got some football tomorrow. To be honest with you, I'm hyped.
Absolutely, prime time football
where the Niners belong.
Hey man, and man, I'm having flashbacks to Jerry Rice versus the Raiders. You know what I'm saying?
I was a freshman in high school that game. Oh my Lord, that was beautiful. That when he broke the record.
Hey man, we always showed up on primetime football, and it's just hey man, shout out to Mexico. Shout out to Mexico. It's just I think it's super cool when I see games. I think last week there was a game in Germany for the first time ever. I know this isn't the first game ever in Mexico City. I'm pretty sure. And
was popping.
I just think it's hella cool. I think it's hella cool to just see.
They love the Niners down there.
Oh yeah.
Oh
they love
man.
The Niners.
It's looking like I seen reports saying we're going to be 85% deep or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
We might be. Man, it's just the faithful is a different breed. The faithful, and it's
preview.
Hey,
let go of that.
Let's go.
It's insane.
Let's go Niners. Let's go. Yeah. The 49er faithful, we're just a different breed.
Mhm.
It's because of the legacy that Bill Walsh, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Rodney Lott, the 5 Super Bowls, 5-0 in Super Bowls. This is still the legacy of that we're continuing to see. And I know it's growing. Obviously there's newer generations, but when you talk, all of us got stories about those times, and majority of the people I talk to, it goes back. Anybody I talk to worldwide, Germany, Australia, people I've talked to, it all comes back to the legacy that was built before. And it's just I'm born and raised in the Bay Area, so I was very naive to it for a while because I thought it was just a Bay thing. 2 years ago, I had no idea all this existed. I knew the Niners were dope. I knew they were one of the better franchises, but I didn't realize it was this big of a community socially, worldwide, the way they travel. It's just like, man, this is dope. This is cool. Okay, it's not just a Bay thing, but that makes it even doper. So, hey, man, yeah, man. So the faithful ride deep, man. So it's just
Yeah.
cool.
And also too, the fact that it's gonna be at Azteca Stadium, that place gets wild there, man. Especially during soccer games. It's
How big's
crazy.
the stadium? It's like it's pretty freaking big, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's like
I
80,
yeah,
90.
something like I was gonna say like 70 to 80,000 probably.
And they're kind of enclosed too, so I'm gonna assume it gets pretty loud in there. So
Oh
the
yeah.
Niners fans need to be rocking.
Yes,
Need to get
for sure,
loud.
for sure.
Because I think I don't care who you are. That friggin' it matters when a team has got a loud fan base.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all. So I got some questions. I'm kind of shooting from the hip. Shows a little bit of a freestyle. But so I wanted to get both of your guys' biggest concern. What are your guys' biggest concern from the Cardinals? Like, whether it's defense, offense, just what is the thing that's just making you, because we know our team, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know a lot about the Cardinals right now. I know they're not doing well. I know Colt McCoy is going to be there. Obviously, they got Hopkins. Defense is a little. So, I mean, there's not a lot to be concerned about, but if there is one thing you guys could point out, I guess I'll start with you, Brandon.
Um. Well, real quick, Jay will answer your question right after this. Um, but nothing really stands out to me that I'm worried about the Cardinals at all on both sides of the ball. Um, like nothing stands out. I mean, to me personally, the Cardinals team just doesn't look like a very good team this year. Um, I mean, especially with all the offseason drama they had with Kyler Murray. Uh, Cowboy Angel says James Conner, but I mean, I'm not. Our defensive line, they eat up that offense. No matter who it is, all the time. I'm not too worried about James Conner either. Um, I don't know, man. Like, I think this is the game that the Niners are going to surprise a lot of us to where uh, Arizona's not going to have that many yards or good, like, really standout plays. So I don't know. I'm not too worried about it at all. That's me personally. What about you, Aaron?
I look at one of my biggest concerns is defensively with J.J. Watt against potentially Mike McGlinchey.
Oh shit.
That's a huge concern of mine because that's been an issue all season. Mike McGlinchey, there's all these people out there that like to say that we're hating on him and it's unfair and look at the rest of his film. He actually does well sometimes. It's to me, it's not that he does it. It's when it happens, when his breakdowns happen, and it's in key games on key plays. And then Budda Baker, Jimmy's got to be really careful because Budda Baker's a damn good safety. So offensively, offensively with us, there is a couple guys that can tilt the game to their favor, even though they're a really bad team overall. Plus, it's a division game, and division games always scare the hell out of me. for some reason. And like I said, you keep bringing up last year, we got beat up by Colt McCoy and James Conner. So like, no Niner fan or any Niner player should be going into this game and being like, we got this, because we're not good enough this year to be sleeping on anybody. We're not the Chiefs. We're not the Eagles. I mean, look at the Eagles. Do they look like the team they did 3 weeks ago? No, you can't. Nobody can sleep on nobody in this league. But those are my two concerns. It's Buddha and more. I was about to say Warren Sapp, JJ and JJ Watt.
So I agree with you, Aaron, and then at the same time, I'm gonna add on, and just with the one major word, we're not that good yet. Like, I feel like, hey, on paper, it looks like it. You know what I'm saying? We got all the ingredients, yada yada yada, but we're not that yet. And I'm going to say that word yet because that's just the faithful part of me. You know what I'm saying? That I truly feel we're going to turn it on and we're going to come through in a major way. I'm going to my biggest concern. I'm going to go a little outside the box. I haven't even thought about it, but I'm going to say special teams. I think sometimes special teams is that one little kind of X factor type of thing that doesn't really matter until it does matter. It's like, it's kind of forgotten unless there's some mistakes. And, hopefully we just have good containment on punts, whatever it is, just on both sides. Hopefully we have a good kicking game. I think there was a high snap where Robbie Gould missed a kick last week. And then there was also, was it a blocked punt? I think, we missed a kick and then had a blocked punt, whether it's snapping, holding, whatever it is. Let's just play an efficient special teams game and then make sure they're not getting any big returns to where it could put them in a position to where, our defense suffers. Our defense has been playing lights out all year, besides the Kansas City game and maybe a little bit in that Atlanta Falcon game. But that was, probably more due to injury and whatnot, and we're probably the healthiest we have been all freaking year, so that's a beautiful thing. And man, so that's my little X factor, concern is just making sure we got the special teams locked in.
So I'll reiterate my statement from what I said. I totally agree with you guys. I mean, I didn't even think about special teams, to be honest with you, but what we saw last week as well, I'll say special teams. That'll be my concern as well.
Hey man, we haven't seen, I know the NFL is different. They changed the kickoffs and all that stuff, but we haven't had a kick return for a touchdown since 2018. I'm pretty sure that was Richie James. And then we haven't had a punt return since 2011, Ted Ginn Jr. So I mean, it's been, and I know, a lot, man, it's just, man, I miss those days. I know we didn't have Devin Hester, but it was cool to see the Devin Hesters and who was the dude on the Chiefs? He was dope too. There was a guy. There was a guy on the Chiefs, a punt returner. He was like a smaller dude, I think like 82. It'll come to me at some point. It's not Ward, but it'll come to me at some point in time. But yeah, I miss seeing those punt returns. It feels like those kick returns and those punt returns, and just when you have that threat of that, I feel like those are huge momentum boosters. You know what I'm saying?
Is it when you Dante Hall?
Dante Hall. Yep. Bang, got it. Yes, thanks, sir. Jay. Thank you, Dante.
I was thinking of Tamarick Vanover from back in the day.
Man, that dude Dante Hall, man, he was raw, man. He just super shifty, man. He would put some moves on you, who was another one? Antoine Randall. He might not be, a huge name, but he was decent as well. Victor Bolden was nice. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So I just hope we have some good special teams. Don't do the and stay disciplined. Of course, just keep the penalties down. Let's continue. Let's continue this streak with no injuries. Man, hey, if we could get efficient in the red zone, man, we could start looking like one of the better teams in the NFL.
That's actually another good point is the red zone. When we're in the red zone, we're freaking horrible. So that's another concern that we have to worry about too. So we could change that up tomorrow night. I think we'll be all right. And Miss Debbie says penalties are her big concerns.
Yep.
Being undisciplined equals points for the Cardinals, which is totally correct. Talking about, go ahead, Rich.
It feels like we've only been actually beaten like once this year by the Chiefs. It feels like, our other losses came from drop balls, turnovers, penalties, like just those self-inflicted wounds that could.
Oh yeah.
It's just like it feels like we're our worst enemy, but hey, it feels like everything's trending in the right direction. So it's like I'm super optimistic and can't wait to see. I hope that we all get to see that dominance. You know what I'm saying? So
I'd love to see some no huddle in this game start.
yeah,
where we just move the ball down the field and score quickly.
Yeah, that would be
we're
great.
so methodical.
Oh,
we do
man.
everything the same every game. Nothing changes.
Let's just let the play
first
clock.
Down.
Let's let the play clock go to 0, go to 5 every play. And so I made a post on Twitter and I said, what did I say? I said, hey man, why do we expect us to score 30 points when we had to run like the slowest paced offense?
We do.
And we're a run heavy team. So I almost asked this question to myself, like, Rich, why are you expecting them to score 30 points? Like, hey, man, their style and brand of football is probably, trying to score 24 and make sure they only score, 10, so. But I think if we do correct the red zone issues, we could easily put up 30. It's just what do you say? Kyle got to switch it up and punt on first down.
Yeah, that would take everybody. No one would expect that.
Every once in a while, it would be nice to see us flip the script and just for a momentum boost, a half a drive, just go hurry up, go quick. I think he tries to not do it to eliminate the penalties and not kind of, but it's like this group of guys have been here for so long. Maybe not the offensive linemen. Maybe that's a part of it. The Banks.
We need to eliminate the drops too.
Yeah, Debo.
Yes.
Come on, Debo. Hold on to it, my man.
We got all these guys that are so good that have a tendency to let the ball get in on them. And you got a quarterback who's got a pea shooter for an arm, and he's still. I could understand when it was Trey Lance with that windup, that baseball windup, that power that he throws with. But Jimmy is such a lofter of the ball.
He is.
He doesn't put anything on any of his passes. Everything has no zip. Every once in a while, Jimmy, and they're always high. Sometimes those actually, in a way, sometimes the high ones actually work out in his favor sometimes because the momentum will kind of take a guy forward, instead of, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But he's got guys that can grab it out of the air. He's got Ayuk. He's got Juwan Jennings, two guys that's another. Here's one guy I'd like to see. Why don't we have Juwan Jennings on the goal line with Kittle? Why don't we get our tallest guys? And, like Juwan Jennings is a matchup issue when he goes against smaller corners, and most slot corners are small, right? So have him in the slot. I don't know. Run a quick slant, run a crosser. Let's do something because whatever we're doing in the red zone ain't working.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And Juwan Jennings actually has been standing out a lot the past couple weeks. And Dion, Christian, and myself always say on our show, especially last season, we call him Juwan Mother effing Jennings. Because the guy, he's a freaking hog, man. Like as soon as he gets that ball and fights for that yardage, oh dude, it's unbelievable.
He's a dog.
If he had some speed, he'd be dangerous.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's slower than molasses, but he can catch.
He is. Hey, he he's a dog, man. Some of those that is one thing about this 49er team, man. They have a lot of dogs. When you really start, when you really start thinking about the Jimmy Ward and Fred Warner and Juwan Jennings. I know Kittle jokes a lot, but when Kittle gets the ball, he's a dog as well.
Greenlaw's a dog, even though he likes to play through the whistle sometimes, but that's all right.
Greenlaw reminds me of Draymond, man. It's like you could live by it and die by it. It's like, doesn't he, Brandon? It's like he can, if he didn't have that intensity where he screws up sometimes, that's why we're seeing him starting to lead almost every time in tackles.
It's wild.
It's like you could live by the intensity and die by it, but it looks like he's starting to find. I know he got ejected, but it looks like he's finding a little bit better of a line, to where, it is a gang of dogs though. The silverback. Who else? You know what I'm saying? Elijah Mitchell is a little dog, but we got a lot of guys with a lot of heart on this team, which is what makes me like super optimistic about, man, this is just reminiscent of last year, but maybe even better on the run we're about to go on. It's hey, we had a little bit less last year and we showed
We
a
were
gang
3-5 around this time.
and we showed a gang of fight without Mooney Ward, without Christian McCaffrey. Who else? Banks. My God, look at Banks, man. Hopefully if he continues to do what he's doing, hopefully he starts getting recognized as an all-pro, not just, because I believe he still don't even got a pressure. I'm pretty sure if I'm reading it right, but amazing.
Great. He's a great surprise for sure. Because I think a lot of us, I never said he was a bust, but I was a little down on him. But then also a lot of us, especially, us that did like a end of the season stream or something at the end of last year, or when we were in our off season streams talking about the draft, a lot of us said that, maybe a year in the weight room and a year in the league would help him and this and that. And that's kind of where I was. I wasn't ready to write him off, where some people were like, he's a bust. And now he's kind of shown that, look, it's the second year in the league. He's gotten an off season. He's even going to be better next year. You could say the same about Drake Jackson. His body's a little bit he's kind of thick. He's a big guy, and I feel like he can get better, even better with his pass rush moves and his body going into even another season. Sometimes it takes some of these guys a couple seasons to get the body, the techniques. Not everybody's Bosa who comes into the league ready-made, ready to go from day one. That just doesn't happen. Look at wide receivers. Look at Juwan. Like, for instance, Brandon Ayuk. He's been slowly building, and to me, he's the number one receiver on this team.
Yep.
Our number one playmaker, you could probably make a case between Christian McCaffrey and Debo, right, as our number one playmakers. When I'm talking about a straight up number one receiver who gets the number one corner put on him every single game, it's Brandon Ayuk, and I don't have a lot of confidence in Jimmy, but when he throws towards Ayuk, my confidence has grown, which is weird. It's kind of a oxymoron or whatever the word is. So it is what it is, man. Like, I'm always excited because I see the potential, and then I watch games and I get brought back down to earth. But who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong this week. Maybe I'll be wrong. I want to be wrong.
Hey, they've given us, like I said earlier in the thing, they've given us this doubt because, like, it's kind of like this. If Jimmy were to win the Super Bowl, he would be one of one to ever.
Yep.
And when I say one of one, Jesse Naylor brought it up on the one of one thing, but I've been preaching since last year. If Jimmy ever wins the Super Bowl, there's only 3 guys who have ever lost a Super Bowl and came back and won a Super Bowl. Bob Greasy, Lynn Dawson, and those are in the 70s. And then John Elway.
Yep.
And those 3 guys are Hall of Famers. Jimmy is not a Hall of Famer, so that would put him in that 1-and-1 category where he would be the only dude who's ever lost one and come back to win one who isn't a Hall of Famer. So it makes, when you look at it from that aspect, it almost feels impossible, but then when you look at our team, it feels super possible. And the NFL is a little bit down this year. There's not that true dominant team. I know people like to look at the Bills like they are that. And
they're not that team this year. They listen, I don't want to play them or Kansas City. I want somehow the Niners get to play like the third choice because it would come down to Jimmy again. And I don't know if Jimmy can handle it. But
one thing about last week after watching the game, like the third time, I really started looking at it like, man, Jimmy did start having a little bit more zip on the ball. It's like on a lot of his completions, I was kind of like,
that too.
Yeah. It takes a while with the shoulder. It takes a while with the shoulder. I've had 2 surgeries.
It took me to watch it like the third time. I was like, hold on. Like, I'm not just looking at the formations and the completions. Now I'm just like, he's really putting a little bit more oomph on it. Okay. I like this. Let's keep this rolling. But, no, That
Hey,
was a,
Sound like
that was
Kyle
a,
in the press conference.
yeah, that was exactly.
And then you got to go that like arrogant, cocky laugh that he does.
Hey, I was gonna ask you guys, do we
Ooh.
see more of George Kittle this game? He's been quiet the past couple weeks.
He was asked about it, right?
Hmm.
And he said he doesn't beg, but would he love to be more involved? Yes. I don't understand because I got called out. Okay. I posted something based on what somebody else posted on Twitter saying like why Kittle doesn't get it. And I said something like, well, he's in the block all the time. And then I got corrected by someone who says, actually, he was only blocking on 2 of 24 pass plays or something. So they're just not going to him.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You know, he was playing against Derwin James, and a lot of people were saying Derwin James shut his ass down. I feel like Kittle hasn't necessarily lost a step like Grant says, but I don't think Kittle is what he has been. I do not see the explosiveness that I've seen before, but he's still a force. I mean, if you get him the ball, he will break a couple tackles at least, right? So it's weird. Kyle Shanahan doesn't run his offenses like that, where he's just going to concentrate on one guy and try to give him the ball. It's whatever happens within the flow.
I think
Whoever gets hot during the game, that's the dude we're going to.
Yeah.
You know how he is.
Yeah.
He always says, well, why didn't you take so-and-so out when he was at running back? Well, I just like to ride the hot hand. In sports, that's how it is, right? You ride the hand of the guy that's doing the best. Why would you take him out all of a sudden randomly in the middle of a drive if he's getting, 6-8 yards of carry and bring in a dude that, barely plays just because you're trying to be fair, right? So I understand how Kyle, I don't know, man. Listen, I want us to kick their ass tomorrow. I want to see us whoop them. I want to see a whooping, man. Just one whooping. Well, we've had 2 with the Rams, but like, I want to put the Cards out of their misery, just like we put the Rams out of their misery. Like, let's take this division 1 game each, and every time we face that team, not like get your ass out of here. Go. I'll see you next year. Yeah. Like, that's what I want personally. I want it to be like the old days.
Let's go, man. It feels like part of Kyle is like, catch me if you can. That's like his philosophy. Oh, you'll never expect I'm gonna do this or do that, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I feel like that's. But then, like you said, that's why all of a sudden you see Kittle not get the ball at all. But so that makes me kind of feel like, all right, Kittle, this next game, he probably will get it a good amount. He wasn't used last week. It feels like that's kind of been a little bit of the trend.
He was also hurt to start the season.
Outside of Ayuk, Ayuk is becoming a beautiful, just consistent. It's starting to become consistent, and I'm just like, let's go Ayuk because
Ryan agrees. She wants that ass whooping tomorrow.
I want that full throttle molly whopping, like for real. Like, hey, we all do.
Put the boots to somebody once this year,
especially
the game's over at
a division rival too,
and on prime time. It's like it's time.
I want us to make a statement on prime time. We're like, oh, the Niners.
For real.
People will look at us like freaking as they look at Wu-Tang. We're not something you want to F with,
Real talk. Hey, I thought that's what was going to happen versus the Chargers. Hey, it's prime time.
Yeah,
let's go.
I remember you said that.
And then what did the Chargers do to us?
Their quarterback's really good, dude.
But see how they caught us off guard. So we're coming off a bye week, right? So they had great coaching.
They got a really good coach.
We're coming off of a bye week, and what do? They come up tempo straight out of the gate. Like, okay, these guys haven't played for a week. They come right out of the gate, up tempo, 2-minute drill, bang bang, just like score on us right off top. And it's like, I'm like, man, can we do that, please? I want to see some up tempo. I want to see us just go, put our foot on the throat, like let's go. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the same old methodical, slow pace. And is like I said, as long as we could be efficient in the red zone, don't make the dumb mistakes, we're gonna be all right. But it would be dope to see just a 49-0. Like, my God, I mean, when I'm thinking about a molly whopping, I can almost see just the number 49. Hey, let's throw up 7 on them.
I want to see the game against the Panthers last year or in 2019, where they were talking about about to bring that smoke and we didn't want none, and then we straight up. I mean, that was Tevin Coleman was the star. So Yay, man. Like I said, I'm just happy football's tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm happy that the Niners are still part of this season and they're competitive into November, going into December. That's all you can really ask for.
Yeah.
We could be a team that's out of it in the first 6 weeks of the season, and you got to wait again until next year. Like, you could be a Jaguars fan. They ain't got a hope, and they don't have a hope. And that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And, there is that conversation going around too with them that their quarterback might be a bust, just like Zach Wilson might be a bust. And that Justin Fields really isn't a quarterback. He's a running back. So, I don't know. I'm giving it.
Another point, I seen, what was one of the comments? Someone, I just had put it up. I should have left it at.
Could I say something real quick? If I apologize if I called Miss
ahead.
Debbie, just Debbie, I apologize. I don't know if it was me. So she said it. She's like, call me Miss Debbie, please. Respectfully. It might have been me. I might have just said Debbie Ryan or Debbie. So sorry, Miss Debbie.
And I think it's so dope that Trey Lance is just a man, he's mature beyond his years. Cause a lot of us, when I see respectfully, I'm like, that's Trey Lance right there. When he was in the press conference and whatnot, hey, respectfully, I really don't care what y'all got to say. I think it's just super cool that you see someone as young as Trey Lance already leading the way, even if it's just with one word. So I think that's pretty cool, just to still continue to see that. But I wanted to touch on Sacktown Izzy saying we're 3-0 in the NFC West, all blowouts in the division is ours.
True, they have been.
And if we get, if we win, we're gonna be in first place because we hold the tiebreaker. So hey man, it wasn't too long ago where we were toward the bottom. So it's just it just shows how quick it could change in the NFL, especially this new age NFL.
Yeah,
it feels like week to week, it's just wild. You really, truly,
is very much.
It's almost like you can't pencil anybody in for a win, and that just leaves it for the taking for us.
Look at the Vikings, dude. They got crushed today by the Cowboys. Who did the Cowboys lose to last week? The Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, exactly.
Did Green Bay play this week?
Yeah.
Did they come back down to earth and lose?
Yes.
Look,
on Thursday.
The league makes no sense.
Hey, who won the Chargers game tonight? The Chargers and Chiefs.
I think it's still going.
Is it still going? Because my thing is, I picked it on Niner Sickness Beto show too, the Chargers. But it's just a trip. Like the Chiefs beat us down, we beat the Chargers, and now the Chargers look like, I'm not sure what the score is, but it's looking like they could pull
23-20.
Yeah, they're down 3 points in the top of the fourth, or the top of the fourth quarter. It's 23-20. Chiefs are up.
Come on, Chargers.
Yeah.
Go Chargers, go.
How the NFL works,
Chargers.
Honestly, it's crazy how the NFL works. Yeah, if we win tomorrow, we're tied for first place with Seattle. So
Just got to take care of business. That's all the Niners really need to be concerned about, is taking care of that division, trying to win that division. Whatever that way that works out, whether it's, what record or interdivisional play or interconference play, don't matter. Just take care of that division, because if you win the division, you're in the playoffs.
Exactly.
You're an automatic entrant into the tournament. And we know the Niners, it don't matter if they're on the road or at home. The Niners bring when they've been in the playoffs these last couple of years, the Niners, the year we did it in 2019, we were the home team, right? So we busted everybody's butt. We got to the Super Bowl and we were 10 minutes away from winning it. Or 7, whatever. In 2021, we were the road team and we were 2 minutes away from beating the Rams. So it really don't matter with this team, because the Niners brand of football travels.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep, for sure. And then also too, the Niners win tomorrow as well. They move up to third place in the conference as well.
Baby steps.
How fast?
Exactly.
How fast it switches.
Crazy.
All right. So, go ahead, bro.
So just real quick. So for tomorrow's game too, is I just hope the defense doesn't come out like they did in the beginning last week.
Yeah, a little flat, not aggressive, guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was like, "Oh, D'Amico wants to feel a team out," and I'm like, "Who the hell coaches like that? We mean feel a team out. Come out with a game plan. That's what you do in that's film study.
That's
why
credit. Hey, but hey, see, sometimes I think we get so fixated on our own team that sometimes we don't kind of give credit, because
they
I
get
look at
paid
it.
too. Yep,
Yeah, hey, they get paid too. Jay in the Bay is always kind of,
he's right.
preaching this to me, and he's right. It's like, hey, they're trying too. They got families. They're trying their heart out, and it's not like we screwed up. It's they had a good game plan. They said, I'm pretty sure we didn't expect them to go hurry up right out of the gate. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at some point in time, credit to the other team. Yeah, that was credit to the Rams, but look what we did. 2 straight games in a row versus the Rams and the Chargers. We shut out both of those teams in the second half. So they kind of hit us in the mouth, but we adjusted. Not just on defense, but offense as well, because before those 2 games, we were the whole year, oh my God, we can't score any points in the second half. We were able to score, basically got 2 comeback wins the last 2 games. We're able to shut them out 2 times in a row. We're able to show that, hey, we can score in the second half and come back and win. So, we got a lot of stuff trending in the right direction, so it's just super cool. On top of us trending in the right direction, we got the Rams who are having there's nothing better than to see them melt down after all the crap they've been talking about for months, and every single one of the YouTuber channels.
They got fans still talking.
Oh man, that makes it even better.
They'll be like, well, at least we won it last year. That's all that matters. It's like,
hey, well, it's
it's been quiet in a lot of the Niner Niner media chat boxes. You don't see a lot of Ram fans in the chat anymore.
Well, we busted them up twice this year.
I know.
Like both of those games ended up being blowouts.
Yep.
So 2 home games on top of it.
Yeah, 2 home games in their own place, it's really our stadium.
Yeah,
absolutely. We're at Levi South tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
Oh, let's go. All right, so I just wanted to ask you 2 guys, who are your X factors or?
Damn, you beat me to it.
Is that what you were gonna say next? Hey, there we go. Great minds. Hey, so who are your X factors or MVP of the games? Like, I guess you know what? For me, I'm going to pick 2 players from both sides. I'm going to pick like a surprise player on offense, but then who I think might shine, and then I'm going to do the same thing on defense. So kind of maybe someone that someone's not thinking about, but then someone that you do expect to shine. So yeah, I guess I'll start with we'll go with Aaron on this one first. So who are your 4 guys? 2 on offense, 2 on defense from the 49ers.
My 2 X factors tomorrow are going to be Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey. Those are my 2 X factors tomorrow. I think both of them can potentially have really big games.
Okay.
I think Deebo's is due. I think Deebo has been a little bit, a lot of people are saying he came in a little bit chubby this year. He's been a little bit dinged. So, and then of course, Christian McCaffrey, because he's just so damn good. Defensively, I think I'm going to go with my boy, Nick Bosa, because he's like the man, right? And I want to see Fred Warner have a really good game tomorrow too. I want to see Fred Warner get after it. He's had some ups and downs this year. So to me, it's defensively, it's got to be your tone setters, in games where you need to win, where you think you're the better team and you need to put your foot down, your big dudes need to come through. And Bosa's that dude, Warner's that dude. And Deebo, to me, he's due. He's just due. He has to have a big game, right? Like everybody's concentrating on Christian McCaffrey and Ayuk. So those are my 4 guys, Deebo, Christian McCaffrey, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa.
Let's go.
All right.
Who you got, Brandon?
All right. So I'm going with George Kittle,
which I would totally be fine with too.
And then Elijah Mitchell.
Also very fine with.
I'm okay with any of it.
Right? We got some players. We have
playmakers.
Niners got talent. Niners got talent falling out of their ears, man. Like it's just everywhere.
We're gonna put it together.
I just need Jimmy to freaking like use them all, man. You know what I mean?
If we just had one better corner too, we'd be all right. That's the
Yeah.
other thing we're lacking is
That's
that
another
other
thing.
dude.
That's another thing I'm worried about too. Is the opposite side of Mooney.
Yep.
Who you got on
On
defense?
defense, I think I'm gonna go with Nick Bosa as well. And I'm gonna go with Greenlaw. I think
I was thinking
I think he's pissed off about last week's game, getting kicked
Mhm.
out.
Oh,
So I think he's gonna come out hot.
I
So
like it. I like it. I like it, man. So I haven't really put a ton of thought into this, but I'm gonna try to. Actually, I have a little bit on defense. You know what? I think Hufunga kind of took a
that
little
was my
bit.
other one.
I think Hufunga took some steps back with the concussion scare. I don't know if
Mhm.
he actually did wind up having a concussion, but even if you're in the protocol, I mean that's enough to say, hey, he took a big enough hit to get rocked. So I think
Hmm.
since then, people been giving him a hard time, always missing tackles. Hey, look, check it out. Even Michael Jordan missed some free throws. It's
Barely,
like
but
I kind of look at it like that. The best of the best, especially on defense. Even Deion Sanders got burnt here and there. But my point is, I feel like, he kind of maybe even coaches were like, hey, you don't got to go for the kill shot every time. This is a whole 17 game season. We need you. We need you. So I think he kind of maybe, this is just my personal opinion. I think he took a little bit of gas off. I think he's fully healthy now. He's got 4 picks. We haven't had a guy with 5 picks since 2014. God, who was it? I had it locked in my mind, but we
Goldston?
haven't. No, it wasn't Goldston. It was not. It was it Parrish Cox or no? That was way back in the day.
Dante.
I was gonna say Dante.
No,
Was
but
it
I know
Dante?
Dante. I'm pretty sure Goldston
Chris
and
Culliver.
those guys had 6.
Somebody.
Yeah, those guys had
Somebody over there.
6 in 2000. So since 2014, we haven't had 5, and then we haven't had 6 since 2011. So I was preaching all off season long. Hey, we need a ball hawk. Surprising, it winds up being Hufunga. I think I'm always rooting for the underdog. So
Me
I
too.
just think that's just dope that it winds up being him. That we were all calling to draft a safety or get this guy out of the draft, and it's like we had it in the building. So I'm going to go with
Sometimes they know more than we do. Let's just put it that
yeah.
way.
And I was defending Hufunga like, hey, Jerry Rice had a slow 40 time too. If he got the instincts, and mostly I think if you got the love for the game, of course. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Jerry Rice came out and dropping passes when he first got to the 49ers. They called him Fifi, okay, because of his hair. That nickname they used to give him because he had the Jerry curl. So even Jerry Rice had to deal with it. So
Real talk.
buck up.
Hey, so I think it would be super cool to see, us get that guy that finally, does something that we haven't done in quite a long time. So I'm going to go Hufunga. I think he's going to continue to build. And then I'm going to put them both in a boat. I'm going to cheat a little bit and say the psych ward. I would like to see Jimmy Ward and Kavarius Ward just play well. I'm excited to see us just get back on the turnovers, just get back on interceptions, fumbles. We kind of took a little bit, if we didn't get the one at the last play of the game, that would have been a few games without having some turnover. So let's get back into the momentum of being the number 1 defense in the league and just start building on that turnover margin. And so on offense, man, this one's a little tough. I don't want to say the same guys that you guys said, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to say my X factor is Juszczyk. I'm going to say Juszczyk because sometimes I feel like he's a completely forgotten dude. And so, and when I say XX like factor, even if it's just one play that's 40 yards, one play that's 30 yards, that would be
huge block or something.
Yeah, huge block, something like that. So I'm going to say Juszczyk, and then I'm also going to say, hey, I'm going to roll with Jawan Jennings again, and just if he could continue,
nice.
If he could continue to convert some third downs, that'll be good enough. That'll be like, hey, he did what I was hoping he would do. Hey, who knows? Maybe he squeaks in a 7-yard touchdown on a slant with that big body. Maybe we wind up seeing that. But yeah, those are my 4 dudes that I hope to see produce.
Yes, sir. So real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and show my ad real quick. Zach's gonna talk about mybookie.ag, promo code Hive. So we'll go do that, and then afterwards we'll get score predictions, and then we could end it afterwards.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Over to you, Zach.
What's going on, guys? Zach here from 49ers Hive, and I just wanted to take a second to thank today's sponsor, MyBookie. You know football, and you pick winners every single weekend, so why not get paid for them at MyBookie? You could bet single game spreads, money lines, or parlay multiple together to increase your payouts. The feeling on Sunday when a 3, 4, 5, 6 game parlay hits is unmatched. There are low contest entry fees and over $500,000 to be won. So make it so you don't have to be a pro gambler to have some fun. Getting started is super simple. All you got to do is go to mybookie.ag and use our promo code HIVE, as in 49ers Hive, on your first deposit to secure a double deposit bonus. You deposit $50, they'll match you $50. You deposit $100, they'll match you $100, all the way up to $1,000. Take advantage of our double deposit bonus. It's right here on the screen. mybookie.ag, promo code HIVE, as in 49ers Hive. Take advantage now, guys, and make this your winning season exclusively at MyBookie.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Let's get some score predictions. Let's
Man,
get it.
I don't know if we pulled up this comment, but it had me
Go ahead.
laughing during the commercial. And there's nothing funny about suicide. I just want to let everybody know, just, for if anybody has ever dealt with anything like that. But it did have me cracking up because Rudy is a Rams fan and he's a content creator. And, they're just having a meltdown to have me cracking up. But that word isn't a funny thing. So, to anybody thinking we're thinking that's a joke, it isn't. But with the context that Niner Sickness is using it in, it's absolutely hilarious.
It was very tongue in cheek. He's saying that he's just having a rough time.
Absolutely. And then I also see there's quite a few people in here I've never seen before. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but man, hey, good stuff for coming through to the show. I don't know if all the links are into the description, but Aaron is right below me. You can find his channel at 49ers First Takes. Amazing content creator, real talk. And then we also have Brandon, we're double streaming, and he's at 49er or Forever Faithful podcast. So make sure to sub to all of us, man. We're trying to grow this 49er community and just keep it. It's nothing but love when it comes to the faithful. I like to look at it like, we're all family, even though sometimes I'm still even learning to approach it that way, but I truly do feel that way.
We're all trying to run the same rat race.
Absolutely.
Can I just say what we're and the NWO crew is doing tonight or tomorrow night?
Yeah, shoot away.
So
man.
Right after the game, I mean, you guys have a million options. You don't have to come to my channel, but if you want to, NWO crew, Bashar, myself, Beto, and Ryan from No Border Sports will be reacting live after the game. Probably going to be the most ADD ridden stream because there probably won't be a lot of topics. So we're just going to be kind of chalking it up, chatting it up. So if you guys want to come through, I have it at 11:30 Eastern, which will probably be about 8:30 Pacific time. It's really late for me, but if the Niners win, it'll be worth it. So just thought I'd let you guys know.
Absolutely. And I wanted to get to this comment. I've never seen the Ramos family. Good stuff for coming through. Like I mentioned before, hit us all up. And typically when I do run a show, I haven't done it yet, so I'm going to do it. But I always like to welcome people by saying, faithful, rise up. Yee. That's just one of my little things, man. That's my thing, man. I don't even know how I made it up. I was just passionate one day and I threw it in there and it stuck, But Ramos family, good stuff for coming through. Real talk. Hopefully all is well with you along with everybody else that's in the chats. Cowboy Angel has always been rocking with us. Real talk. Good to see you in here. Aztec MC. I'm not sure I've ever seen you before, but good stuff as well. And
he's definitely in my chats a lot. One of my ride or dies. So thanks for coming through here.
Heck yeah, that's what's up.
Here you go.
We also have a show. So this is the battle of the shows. We We also have a show. Hey, man, we need to like combine all.
We should do like an 8 or 10 man
straight
squad. I don't know if that,
beat,
that
man. It'll be
StreamYard might
pure.
crash,
I'm
blow
down.
out.
It'll be
down.
straight chaos, and it'll be straight. Everybody will be talking over each other. But
Yep.
someone, hey, but
Hey, I'm
hey,
from a Sicilian household. That's
sometimes
a Wednesday for me.
sometimes that makes for a great show. Hey, doing what we're doing right now has helped me because I used to be so horrible at cutting people off like continuously. So I've gotten a lot better at it. So man, there's a lot we can learn doing these kind of things. But tomorrow night we also have a show right at the same time as NWO 49ers straight out of the Bay. There's every single flavor in this 49er community. There is no lack of flavors. We are like Baskin Robbins over here. And what else is it? Dr. Pepper, I believe. You know what I'm saying? I think they got a gang of flavors up in there too. But the 49er content game, man, it is the best in the world. You have everything. I think we even got a new one. Who was it? Niner Gang Wolfcast. He just started up, and he's doing some things. But I don't want to speak on what his ethnicity is, but he's he brings that Wolfcast. It's just we got it all, man. So I just think it's hella cool. And
Debbie wants us to do a podcast roundtable. We should definitely have that in the works.
We're going to definitely have to get, because some people, I'm not saying anybody here, but sometimes when you stream with certain people, you find out people who like to talk a long time.
Yes.
And they don't stop. My own issue with doing a bunch of people, that one person might piss everybody off.
Yep.
Like, man. So we might have to have like I've seen Jesse and other people do it where they have a timer.
We might have to.
Because even for myself, I could go on tangents. I take after my dad, and my mom's my mom's full blood Sicilian from Sicily. I can talk a lot. So if we had like, you're done, stop. Okay, next guy. I could see us doing something multi people, but there would definitely have to be some sort of moderator.
Yeah.
So
there would have to be a peacemaker for sure.
I might
have to bring in my nephew or something. He could be the outside of authority.
I might have a plan here. So if the Niners win tomorrow, I know you guys are going to do your shows, and I'm going to do mine as well, do a post-game show. But I'm on vacation this week, and I know you guys work and everything, but let's figure out a time, maybe Tuesday night, possibly. Maybe we could do a round table if you guys want to.
Yeah, we'll chop
Tuesdays
it up.
for me are a little rough just because I have some religious obligations on Tuesdays. And I go back to work after being out about a month. So I'll be hitting the hay massively quickly. I would love to do it. I really would. Next week is weird because I might have Brian Peacock on from Lockdown 49ers. I have no idea when that's going to happen.
That's what's up, man.
And going back to work, I'm super energetic now, but after you go back to work, then all of a sudden you might see me in streams being like, I really don't want to do this.
What time do you start and all that stuff?
What do you mean at work?
For work. Yeah.
I go back to Wednesday morning. I think it's 7:30 a.m. I work 7 to 3:30 or 7:30 to 4. Pretty awesome, solid shift.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I partially tore my meniscus.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, I missed some time earlier in the year at work with some mental health stuff. So I had ran out of time that I could be out for that calendar year. So I have to kind of just put up with it. And then eventually, maybe sometime into early next year, if I have occurred some time, take that off and get the surgery if I need it. So we'll see.
For sure.
And I did just want to, I didn't elaborate because I was too busy trying to encourage people to get the channels. But yeah, Ramos, man, I completely didn't even look at the comment, or I did, but I meant to say something about it. Hey, but the Giants, they better go get judged. They better go get some big names. Tired of the Dodgers always grabbing somebody up. But yeah, the Giants, it's time. We have not had a home run hitter since I don't think we've had more than 30 home runs since 2004 Barry Bonds. So it's time. It is just as long. I feel like the 49ers haven't had a 30 pass touchdown player since 2002 Jeff Garcia. So those are two things. And in the Bay Area, we're known for touchdowns and home runs.
Yeah, 100 reception, like 1,200 yard multiple touchdown receiver too. Like, come on now, people.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
exactly.
It's time, bae. It's time. It's time. All right, so I'll start it off with the score prediction. I'm going to go ahead. I wouldn't be surprised to see a game like Aaron was talking about earlier. A 24-16 or whatever it is, but I think this could be the game like I expected versus the Chargers. So I'm going to go ahead and just say 34-17. I'm waiting to see the beatdown.
Okay. I'm gonna go with 31-17. And I think Eli has 2 touchdowns, and Christian McCaffrey has 1.
Let's go.
24-16. I think the Niners start a little slow again, but turn it on late second into the third, and just pull away towards the end of the game with maybe a long drive touchdown or a turnover that tilts field position, and we go in and score. I don't really have anybody specific, because like you guys say, each game is kind of its own entity. So I really don't know who's going to be the guy that shines. Like I said, we had our picks, but yeah, 24-16, Niners pull away late, and we go to 6-4.
Beautiful. All right, I think that's going to do it for us, guys. Everybody in the chat, thank you for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate the love and support. Once again, if you guys haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button on all our channels. 49ers First Takes, Keltz Chronicles, and Forever Faithful Podcasts. Once again, we really appreciate all the love, support. And until next time, go Niners.
Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yee.